Okay, now I'm going to share with you dimensional foilage. So with this technique, we're going to be combining foil application with hair painting. So with this technique, it's super versatile. You can use it on many different hair types. It's great for your clients that require a retouch. So this is something you can utilize on your clients that have gray. It's also great on darker hair as well. So looking at your application guides I've handed out, you will notice that the model has curly hair. Oftentimes with curly hair, dimension gets lost and it looks more like an all-over color. So with this technique, the foils are going to allow for further lifting. So the combination of the dimensional foilage is going to allow us to have those pops of color and brightness while also keeping the end result more lived in and natural looking. Okay, sectioning for dimensional foilage. We're going to have a total of 6 sections, which will be the 6 zones that you see on your application cards. 4 of these are going to be the top or front of the head, and then 2 sections will live in the back. The first thing I'm going to do is determine where the apex of the head is, and I'm going to just split this into 2 sections. So I'm going to work with the curvature of the head. Going down to behind her ear. Same thing on the other side. So this will give me 2 sections first. From here, I'm going to take the back part of what I just sectioned, and I'm going to go straight down the middle, down to the nape, creating 2 sections. So this will give me zone 1 and zone 2. Okay, so with the front here, I am working from the apex of the head. I'm going to go at a diagonal to the corner of her eyebrow, and this will become 2 sections. Okay, so I have a total of 6 sections. Again, I went straight from the apex of her head, created a back part and a front part, working with the curvature of her head, straight behind her ear. So with this back section, I created 2 parts. I just went straight down the middle to the nape. So this will be zone 1 and zone 2. And then for the front, working off of this center point, I created triangular sections. So we have our 2 here in the center and then 1 on each side. Okay, so looking at your application guides, you will notice that step 1 says to apply your foundation color as a retouch. We're not doing that today. My model has a 5B all over, so we're gonna utilize that and say this is her foundation color. If you were doing a foundation color, you can go ahead and just apply it all over like you would do a retouch, and then go in and section out your 6 sections. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna say our foundation color is 5B. We're going to have a foil accent and then a balayage accent. So for our balayage accent, I'm going to be utilizing clay lightener with 30 volume. The cool thing about this is that it completely eliminates the need for meshes, foil, saran wrap. So where we put this is gonna stay, so we don't have to worry about any transfer. So our balayage accent, clay lightener plus 30 volume. And then for our foil accent, we're going to have cream lightener with 20 volume. Okay, so step 2 on your application guides is where we are going to start out today. So you'll notice the picture on your application guide, there's a solid line and a dotted line. So your solid line is going to be where we will hair paint or balayage. Your dotted line is going to be the foil work. So the first thing we're gonna do is take diagonal back sections, hair paint, zone 1 and 2, and then we're gonna put our foil work right on top of that. Okay, so at zone 1, I'm gonna take a diagonal back section. And I'm gonna just pin this part back up. I'm gonna go ahead and take down my diagonal back section for zone 2 as well, just to ensure that everything will be symmetrical here. And then I'll pin this up. So we will start right here with our hair painting. Zone 1, I surface painted the whole section all the way down to the bottom, and I'm just gonna let it fall. So I will do the same thing to the other side on zone 2. I am just surface painting here. I'm not pushing any product all the way through, just keeping everything super light on the top or surface of the section just to ensure softness. If you did want a bolder look, you could definitely saturate this whole entire section, but just focusing on the top is going to give us that soft, lived-in, natural look. Right above this section, I'm going to put my second accent. Okay, so from the middle of zone 1 to the middle of zone 2, I created a horizontal section. I'm going to go in and weave, creating a top section and a bottom section. This bottom section is going to work as our built-in low light, so I'm just going to drop that, and the top is where I'm going to start my foil work. So I'm going to use my cream lightener, starting down here at the middle. I'm going to paint my cream lightener. I'm going to fully saturate mids to ends. From here, I'm going to take this and just fold it up one time. And I'm going to pinch this part. I'm going to take my brush and just diffuse this line. So I am sweeping up, just to ensure softness here. Then I'm going to fold up one more time. And lock it into place. Okay, so I have my zone 1 and zone 2. I have hair painted both sides, took a horizontal section right across the top that meets in the middle of those two zones. I weaved that out. What was left on the bottom, I'm just gonna let that fall. And then on the top, I started my foil work with my cream lightener. Now I'm going to move into zone 3, taking a diagonal forward section and balayage with accent 1 followed by a slice. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to take down my back section, create my diagonal, moving up into zone 3. So I'm going to go from that point at a diagonal, but here I am again following. This is going to match this angle at the top. This from middle point here to middle point here, I'm going to take out my horizontal section. I'm going to clip that out of the way. And then what's left here, I'm going to surface paint. I'll take this back down that I pinned up. I'll take out my weave. So the top will be my foil. What's left over is going to be my built-in low light. I'll take my foil. Take my cream lightener, starting right here in the middle. From here down, I'm going to fully saturate the cream lightener. Once that's fully saturated, I'll fold this up, hold the bottom, and then sweep my lightener up. Then I'll go in, fold it again, and lock it into place. Okay, so from here, I'm going to go with zone 1 and 2, and I'm going to create a horizontal section right here for our foilayge. Okay, from here we are going to take our 1 and 3 and combine them together. We'll go ahead and take our horizontal section from the top, which is where we will have our foilage, and then pin this up for now. So with this section, we are going to surface paint. So again, just depending on what look you're after, how much boldness your client wants, you could take this and make it 2 more sections. You could split this and make this 2 different sections. With surface painting, you can utilize your V's, your W's, if that's what you're used to doing. So I'm just gonna go in and stick with what I have been doing. Surface paint the whole top of this section. If you did want to see more depth, especially up here at the top, you could go in and do your V's or your W's just to give you even more depth. If you do have a client that wants to see that pop of color around her face, you can go in and even surface paint your side here. This is also great for your clients that wear their hair up. They want to see more lightness around their face especially. So on top of that, I will take my section I clipped up. I'm going to take out my weave. What's down here, I'm going to let that fall to be our built-in low light, and then use the cream lightener. For our foil work. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so from here, with this top section, I am going to work from this front point at a diagonal back. So this will be the face framing piece. I know a lot of clients are looking for that pop of color, that boldness around their face. So that's what this section is going to be. It's going to be my money piece. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to clip this out of the way. I'm gonna come back to this. I want this to have my full attention because again, it is the money piece. So from here, I'm gonna go from the middle of that front section back to the middle of zone 5. And this is going to be my foilayge. From here, I'm going to do the same exact thing to the other side. Take out my diagonal front section, which will be my money piece, my face framing piece. I'm going to pin it back for now. Go in from the middle of each section and take out my foilayge. So I'll go ahead and take out my weave. What's left underneath will be our built-in low light, and then the top section I'll utilize my cream lightener for our foil work. From here, I'll do the same thing, working up the head. I will take out my horizontal section at the top, put that to the side. I'll surface paint the bottom surface, and then do my foil work right on top of that. Okay, finishing off this top of this section, I'm going to go in, take my weave out. What's left underneath will be, of course, the built-in low light, and then finishing off with my foilage and my cream lightener. Okay, finishing up with these face framing money pieces, what I will do here is I will over direct these back away from her face. I'm going to go in with my clay lightener and surface paint. If these pieces were to fall forward, of course, what I'm surface painting is the interior. What this is going to do is give that pop of color or boldness around the face, which most clients are looking for. Since we are just surface painting though, not saturating all the way through, we're still going to have a more lived in, subtle look. So I'll surface paint all the way to the end, let these fall over top of the other foils away from her face, of course. Now I'm just going to do the same exact thing to the other side. All right, so this completes our dimensional foilage application. Again, you can be as creative as you would like to be here. This look is super versatile, so the possibilities are pretty endless here, just depending on what you're looking for and your client's looking for, of course. Just a little recap here, we worked with our clients. Natural 5B is the foundation. We have one accent with our clay lightener and 30 volume. That's where we hand painted balayage some sections. Again, surface painted there. We didn't fully saturate. If you were looking for a super bold look, you can saturate all the way through, take smaller sections even. And then in our foil work, we utilized cream lightener with 20 volume to give us those bright pieces, boldness, pops of color. So we're looking for softness, subtleness, some pops of color, but more of a lived in natural look here.